Over in the state Senate, Kyle Bates, a Republican out of Virginia, Miguel, says he's also working in that same thing. They have bills. Bates has written bills to stiffen the penalties on fentanyl dealers who otherwise would be getting away with this stuff. The problem is there's no political appetite yet. And I don't know what it would take. There's no political appetite for this to pass the legislature, because they're busy with bullet trains.
Gary and Shannon will continue, and it looks like Brian's got the news.
The number of homicides in areas patrolled by the LA County Sheriff's Department has jumped 94% over the last 2 years. LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva says auto thefts have increased by 59%. He says the pandemic is the main reason for the rise in crime. He also blames the LA County Board of Supervisors for placing a hiring freeze on his department at a time when he says more deputies are urgently needed. A man whose son died while working at a group home in Windsor Hills has filed a lawsuit against LA County.
The lawsuit takes aim at the group home, LA County, and Bobby Cagle, who was leading the County Department of Children and Family Services at the time the man's son was killed. The suit claims his son, who worked as a counselor, was beaten to death by teens in January of last year when he was trying to break up a fight. It says the county and group home didn't train staff well enough, nor report violent incidents enough. The lawsuit says the man's death came years after reports of violence at the home. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
The U.S. says Russia will face a swift and severe response if it sends military forces into Ukraine.
We cannot choose the path for Moscow, but we can make crystal clear the stark consequences of that choice.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken made the comment while in Berlin, a day after President Biden said a minor incursion by Russia would be met with a lesser response.
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having to fight about what to do and not do, etc.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki tweeted today that there would be severe economic consequences if there is an invasion. Amazon is about to make another play in the real world of retail. The Seattle-based company says it plans to open a clothing store in the Americana Mall in Glendale later this year. The store will sell women and men's clothing as well as shoes and other accessories. Amazon says it will send shoppers suggestions about what to buy to their phones as they browse the aisles. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. There's a crash on the 5 in Elysian Park.
Northbound side of the 5, right before the 110 freeway, with the left lane is blocked. Things are really jammed up coming right off of the 10, while the southbound side slows down from Glendale Boulevard over to the 110 freeway. Northbound side of the 110 before Adams in South LA. Got a crash here in the left lane. Things are really heavy there coming away from Florence. Roadwork in Sylmar, eastbound 210 between Roxford and Wheatland Avenue. Far right lane is coned off for repairs. And if you're heading into the Newberry Park area, southbound 101 approaching Lind Road, still get an earlier crash here taking away the 2 right lanes, and things are heavy from Borchard. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jay Olin.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC. And I know nobody wants to have a plumbing problem, but suppose you did. What would the perfect plumbing service experience look like? First of all, the technician would show up on time and be presentable, friendly, and wearing a clean uniform with an ID badge. Then they'd put drop cloths down around the work area and have the right tools to do the job. And if they needed a part, they'd have it on their truck. They'd give you a price quote up front and they'd stick to it. At the end of the job, they would clean up after themselves and leave the work area cleaner than they found it. That's the perfect plumbing service experience, and that's exactly what you can expect when you call Service Champions. For clogged drains or any plumbing problems, call us at 833-777-7777 or find us online at servicechampions.com.
Service Champions, Plumbing, Heating, AC, and good tea for free.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny skies today, some strong winds. Upper 60s to mid-70s at the beaches, mid to upper 70s in Metro LA and OC, upper 60s to mid-70s in the inland valleys, and low to upper 70s in the IE. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Berumen.
Hey, everyone loves the thought of a fresh start. Well, if you're sick of struggling financially or you got some bad debt dragging you down, Oak Tree Law can help.
There's a healthcare worker in Murrieta had $99,000 in credit card debt and wages were being garnished. Oak Tree Law was able to erase 100% of the debt and remove the wage garnishment entirely.
Here's another one. A father in Pasadena fell $48,000 behind on his mortgage. The bank issued a sale date on his home. Oak Tree Law stepped in and immediately stopped the sale date and got a modification with a lower interest and payment.
A restaurant owner from West Covina had a $250,000 lien placed on his house. Oak Tree Law was able to get the lien stripped off the property and eliminate $486,000 in credit card and business debt.
Real stories, real people. So no matter your situation, no matter what kind of debt you have, if you need help and you're tired of stressing, call Oak Tree Law right now.
Call 800-542-2949. 800-542-2949. Start 2022 with a clean slate.
Call 800-542-2949. 800-542-2949.
Looking for a career in your local community? Come join our team at Stater Brothers Markets. We offer flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, and an employee discount. Apply now at staterbros.com/careers.
When was the last time you had your house checked for termites? Yeah, precisely. Even if you don't think you have termites, it's worth calling Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. And they'll tell you whether you don't have termites, great news, or you do and you have to treat right now, and they do it without tenting, and that is so important. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC, PacificCoastTermite.com.
Pacific Coast Termite kills termites
The clean, friendly way.
Feeling like everything costs a bajillion dollars lately? Del Taco gets it. And they got you. Del Taco's new 20 under 2 menu includes 20 fresh-made guaci, cheesy, spicy, and crunchy items for under $2 each. Can I get a Del Yeah? Price of participation may vary.
2022 means a super selection for you from Norm Reed's Honda Superstore. Online at normreeds.com. KFI AM 640.
an iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Jody Becker just tagged me in her Instagram story with a guy that's frozen at Lambeau Field. I'm not going. It's too cold. 21 degrees. I just checked the forecast tomorrow. Or Saturday.
Yeah, that's when it's warm, it's 21 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And kickoff, it's going to be like 7.
So I was cleaning out my my backpack that I take to the games. And in there I had hand warmers.
Secrets.
I had hand warmers and foot warmers. And I didn't throw them out. I just placed them to the side in case they're needed.
To get rid of them completely.
At SoFi Stadium when the Rams beat the Bucks and the Niners beat the Packers, and I can just stay at home.
When we get into Swamp Watch at 12:30, M. Wynn is going to join us live from Washington. The House committee that's looking into the January 6th riot has requested Ivanka Trump's cooperation with the investigation, her testimony regarding conversations with her father, obviously the former president, before and on January 6th. And they say that she may have a lot of insight into exactly what was going on. At this point, it's just asking for her cooperation. I don't know if she's going to do it.
Well, there is some trouble for the Orange County DA, Todd Spitzer. It looks like his buddy, a former roommate, was causing some problems at the office, and maybe there was some retaliation against the women that raised their hands and said, hey, this isn't cool, you can't do this. Attorney Matt Murphy is representing all 4 women in a lawsuit against the county about this. Matt Murphy, I have seen in trial, one of the best trial attorneys I've ever seen as a reporter, and now he is in private practice. Joins us now. Matt, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me on.
So what is the issue here with Todd Spitzer's buddy?
Well, essentially, Todd was elected, and he promoted his best friend. There he was best man at his wedding, just like he said. And he put him in charge of a bunch of young women straight out of law school, and he went off the rails. So the county did this big, giant investigation. It was 160 pages long, and it laid out and sustained all of these allegations that we made, finding that Gary, in fact, had been sexually harassing numerous people. But not just that, he also said a lot of really racially inappropriate things, including to 2 of my clients that are Muslim. One is an Afghan war refugee. She's a wonderful person. And it was awful. So the county does this big investigation. They have this very detailed report, and they sustain our allegations in short. They say it's all true, it all happened. But the report was embarrassing to Mr. Spitzer. And next thing you know, basically Todd Spitzer puts this report in an all-staff email. So every single person in the DA's office, like over 700 employees, got to read these incredibly embarrassing, humiliating details that my clients have had to endure, essentially at the hands of his best friend. And it's awful. It's absolutely awful. What these women have gone through is unbelievable. So we cry foul, and there's another investigation done by the county. An independent investigator looks into it and says that Todd Spitzer engaged in abusive conduct by releasing that report. And look, I want to make sure it's very clear. I was not going to do any media on this at all. I was not going to talk. I was going to let my lawsuit do the talking. And then Todd Spitzer started issuing statements yesterday that are, I mean, they would be funny if this whole thing wasn't so awful. It's so wrong. He's basically, it's insane, the things that are coming out of the Orange County District Attorney's Office trying to explain this behavior. So we have 2 reports. One found that my clients were abused by Gary Legalvo, and the next one found very, very clearly that they were abused by Todd Spitzer. And get this, top law enforcement officer in the county refused to participate in the second investigation. He and his chief of staff, this guy Sean Nelson, they would not cooperate with the investigator. And so the investigator came back and said they wouldn't cooperate, and I am finding that these women were abused. Okay, so the next step is, what are we doing here? Like, there's been 2 investigations independently conducted by the county, and we had a settlement. We had a settlement in summer. And look, if you've seen the trial, you know that I'm fighting at the bit to get Spitzer under oath, to get a jury in here. And the county has settlement on the table that they shot down. And I don't know what they're thinking. They must know what they're doing. But this is going to get really bad. And when it comes to things that are bad for the DA's office are bad for public safety. And the road we're going down, this is going to be awful for my clients. It's going to be awful for the people in that office. We're going to have to depose probably 70 people. That's time wasted work. This whole thing, for lack of a better term, sucks. And we're hoping that somebody steps up in an official capacity and allows these women to put this behind us.
We're talking with Attorney Matt Murphy. It sounds like I mean, we've seen this before in different instances, specifically dealing with sexual harassment, workplace harassment, that the original incident is bad, made worse by an attempt to either cover up what happened or ignore what happened or try to downplay what happened.
Yeah, and let me tell you what happened in this one. The first of my clients who came forward, now this is a young woman, she's 26 years old. All she wanted to do is be a prosecutor for her entire life, okay? She was the first person to actually write an email outlining what Gary Legalvo was doing. Todd Spitzer's reaction to that was he walked into his executive meeting with the sixes, the executive managers of the DA's office, and announced that she had lied in her email. And then he attempted to get her immediate supervisor, who's a wonderful man, to write her up, quote unquote, for lying in her performance review. Well, if you write up a probationary DA officially for lying, their career is over. And this man, her boss, was like, Todd, what are you talking about? She didn't lie in her email. That's retaliation under the law of California. I'm not going to do that. So you had to have these 2 very courageous people, her immediate supervisor and his supervisor, who stood up to what Todd Spitzer wanted to do, and that's the only thing that saved her job. And all she did, she reported sexual harassment. She was bent over a desk, plugging a light bulb in, and Gary Legalvo came up, took a picture of her buttocks, looked at his phone and said, haha, this is for the spank bank, I'm going to use it later. Okay, so she's at work, doing her job, she's not doing anything wrong. Yes, so there's some physical touching with her, tucking her bra strap into her bra, touching her skin, and she didn't want to complain. She didn't even want to cooperate with the investigation because everybody knows that Todd and Gary Legalvo were best buddies. So that's, like they said, the cover-up is worse than the crime. You're absolutely right. And in this case, there was a blatant, overt attempt to retaliate against one of these women. And imagine that. Now you know the elected official, and 26 years old, it's her dream job, is out to get you, and he's coming after you simply for reporting to her boss these instances of sexual harassment. It's like, this is the type of stuff that you think used to happen in the 40s and 50s. You know, like when we all sit for those EEO trainings and you see those cheesy videos that we all have to watch, and you think nobody would do stuff like this. This is a fantasy. Well, it does actually happen, and it happened in my beloved Orange County DA's office, where I worked for 26 years.
Yeah, it's really hard for me because of what's going on up here in Los Angeles County with the guy who's squatting in our DA's office and his refusal to do the job or carry out the law. And so it's hard for me to go after Todd Spitzer when he seems to want to do his job, but he's always rubbed me the wrong way. And now there's these whispers that are getting louder and louder that he's kind of overseeing this fiefdom where it's this like good old boys club where stuff like this goes and he just looks the other way. And it's disheartening when you're just a member of the community who wants to be protected against the bad guys.
You couldn't be more right. Gascon, we would need an hour for me to go off on that. I've represented the families of 2 police officers who were murdered by hardened criminals that Gascon was essentially trying to release. And we won in both of those cases. But, I mean, it's awful, right? There is a contested election. And you're exactly right. At least his managers are still filing gang enhancements and gun enhancements. And, but do we have to deal with this in order to achieve public safety? There's got to be a better way, right? Like, how about you just have somebody in there who isn't driven by his ego, who does the right thing? How about we have that? How about you have an elected district attorney who recognizes that with their power comes great responsibility to the people that work for them? And how about you just treat people right? It's not that hard. Be nice to people, and when somebody reports your best friend for sexual harassment, you don't try to fire them, okay? And the stuff that Todd Spitzer has said, I cannot wait to get that man under oath. I cannot wait to get this in front of a jury. And tragically, just like you said, that my heart is with law enforcement as a prosecutor for 26 years, and the people that are going to suffer as a result of this are the people of Orange County. They're going to wind up paying way more than they have to. And look, like I said, when the DA's office suffers, public safety suffers. And I really hope that the Board of Supervisors takes a step back and they realize I believe they are underestimating the huge negative impact that our lawsuit is going to have on the safety of that community. And look, I've got a job to do. I'm going to zealously represent my clients. I can't be concerned with the politics. And the road we're going down is bad for Orange County, and it's horrible for my clients, and it's bad for that office where there are still wonderful people. And here's another statistic for you. Since Todd Spitzer became the DA, and I've heard various numbers, there have been almost 100 lawyers, not clerical or investigators, 100 lawyers that have left that office, including me.
Wow.
And there's been a mass exodus. And we're seeing there's a kid that was a professional sexual assault prosecutor in that office who was a victim himself when he was a child. And I say kid, he's like 32 or 33 years old, dedicated to sexual assault victims because he was one. And look, I represent 5 victims on the Robichaux case. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And he was so disgusted with the way the office treated those women, not even the defense attorneys, because they're doing their job, but the office, the way they were treated by Todd Spitzer, he resigned over that. Young, talented prosecutor, and he went to another DA's office, and he went up and he told him, I can't work for an office that treats victims this way.
All right, well,
and the problem is...
Matt, sorry, we're just out of time. I could talk to you all day long because you're speaking our language. Preach all day long. We would love to have you back because it is sad what's going on up here and down there. And it's good to talk about you guys who are fighting, you guys and women who are fighting the good fight. So I appreciate your time. Attorney Matt Murphy there.
Thank you so much, guys. Call me anytime.
Absolutely. He also endorsed Spider-Man for Orange County DA. Did you hear that?
Love it.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man.
Great power comes great responsibility. Right. I swear that, seriously, we could talk to that guy for 3 hours.
I totally could.
All right, well, he's in Burbank. Get him in the building.
All right, Gary and Shannon will continue, and Brian's got the news.
The police in Menifee are going to crack down on traffic offenses like jaywalking and DUIs with increased patrols next week. A flag ceremony has been held in Vernon for an LA County firefighter killed fighting a fire in a Marshall Palace building. And California Senate Majority Leader Bob Hertzberg has turned out and says he's running for a spot on the LA County Board of Supervisors. We'll have a look at some trouble on the 210 next.
Live the glory of the NFL at Super Bowl Experience presented by Lowe's. Celebrate the conclusion of the NFL's biggest season ever by getting autographs from your favorite players, photo ops with the Vince Lombardi Trophy, testing your skills in interactive NFL games, and more. Tickets start at just $20, and kids 12 and under attend free every day. Download NFL One Pass to purchase your tickets today. Super Bowl experience presented by Lowe's opens February 5th at the LA Convention Center. NFL One Pass required for entry.
My name is Susan Owen at Owen Patterson and Owen. Sometimes people that call our office don't realize that they have a case right to a settlement for an injury that they may have had. You get hurt or injured in any type of accident. 888-OPO-WIN, OPOLaw.com.
From the HMS Capital Weather Center, there's a wind advisory across most of the Southland through this afternoon. This report brought to you by Owen Patterson and Owen. And we're looking at some road work on the 210 in Sylmar.
Eastbound side of the 210 freeway between Rockford and Wheatland Avenue. The far right lane is toned up for repairs until about 2. If you're making the ride into Newberry Park, southbound 101 approaching Lynn Road, got a crash here in the 2 right lanes. Things are really jammed up from Borchard Road. Getting into Grand Terrace, southbound side of the 215 approaching Mount Vernon. There's a wreck in the right lane. Things are heavy from the 10. And then up ahead on the 215 south just beyond University, crash here in the 3 left lanes. So things are jammed up there from the 91. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jay Lewis.
This report is sponsored by LA Unified Adult Education. Los Angeles Unified Adult Education offers free classes in career training, high school diploma, and English as a second language. Visit launifiedadult.org or call 213-241-3150.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Buying a major appliance is a problem in 2022 because you're going to be paying more and waiting 8 months or more for delivery. Or, hey, you could shop where I shop, WDC Kitchen and Bath Center. WDC secured millions in inventory before the supply line shut down, so right now with high prices and delays everywhere else, there is a good chance WDC has exactly what you need, in stock, ready to deliver. To find a WDC nearest you, go to WDCappliances.com, WDCappliances.com.
Is it safe to return to work?
Should my kids go back to school?
Can I see my friends and family now?
As life returns to normal, our COVID-19 worries have not disappeared, but evolved. CalHope offers free tips and tools to help manage your stress. Call our warm line at 1-833-317-4673 or live chat online at calhope.org.
Ring in the new year with NeoU, the game-changing fitness app with real-time coaching, daily live workouts with friends, and thousands of on-demand classes like strength, boot camp, yoga, and more. Right now, get a 50% lifetime discount and pay just $3.99 per month when you sign up by January 31st. That's a lifetime 50% discount on your NeoU subscription, plus a 60-day free trial to kickstart your 2022 fitness routine. Get started now at neoufitness.com. That's NEOUfitness.com.
This is your moment to stand strong for your family, because your loved one in the military stands strong for our country. Paid family leave can now provide military families with up to 8 weeks partial wage replacement to help arrange for child care while your loved one is deployed. To be there to dry tears, to be there to provide reassurances, and to be there for the moments that truly matter. This is your moment. Take it. To learn more, visit CaliforniaPaidFamilyLeave.com. Moments matter.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
If you're saving and investing for tomorrow, inflation is a risk you can't ignore. Because as we're living longer, your money may have to stretch further than ever. Join us Tuesday, January 25th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for a brand new virtual event. 10 ways to help protect your wealth from inflation. Register for free at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. Don't let rising prices lower the quality of your retirement or impact your lifestyle today. At our new virtual event, 10 ways to help protect your wealth from inflation. You'll see how stocks, bonds, and other investments may help you outpace inflation and explore what inflation could mean for your Social Security benefits. Our advice is based on 35 years of wealth management experience. Please join us for our special virtual event, 10 ways to help protect your wealth from inflation, on Tuesday, January 25th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. Register for free at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. That's EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
Portions of the following program will be recorded. So how do we deal with this? We expand on Top 64 and say every city, every county must follow the state rules
and that is allow pot. There should be a pot store on every corner.
Bill Handle.
Actually, all 4 corners.
Mornings from 6 to 10.
In every single city.
On KFI.
Gary and Shannon. KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We got Swamp Watch coming up at 12:30, and when we get into it, M. Wynn is going to join us from ABC News with the latest on what the January 6th committee is looking for, specifically some cooperation they're asking for from Ivanka Trump. Obviously, she is in a close relationship with the guy who is her father, but she was also a senior White House advisor. So there's that. There's also the U.S. Supreme Court ruling yesterday that it will allow the release of presidential documents that the January 6th committee wants. This is sort of the end of the line when it comes to the Trump organization, the Trump people, and their fight to try to keep some of those documents secret.
Yesterday, we told you about the little girl in Russia, 10 years old, who got lost on her way home from school and ended up holding on to a dog before she was rescued 18 hours later in the midst of a blizzard, and that the heat from the dog kept the little girl alive. Well, this morning we heard the story of a Tongan man who's being called Aquaman. He survived that tsunami and 27 hours at sea. Here's the other thing. Dude can't even walk.
I'm sorry?
He's got some sort of disability where he can not walk. And he said he was just floating. He was floating in the water for 27 hours before he was rescued. You're calling BS on the story, just like you did with the girl and the dog. You don't believe in miracles? For a Christian man.
I just feel like Jason Momoa would have use of his legs. Are you saying he doesn't have the use of his legs? Or are you saying not that Aquaman?
Well, they're calling him Aquaman.
Well, they're calling this guy Aquaman.
Yeah.
It wasn't Aquaman.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Stuck out there for 27 hours.
It wasn't. The number of my friends, PS, who have said, oh, Jason Momoa is single, is crazy to me.
Meanwhile, none of my friends
One
are
of
like,
which-
hey, Lisa Bonet is single.
One of which is, milking her baby. And she's like on Instagram, oh, look, he's single. I'm like, girl, you just made a baby. You're not in this fight. You're not in this round. Stand down.
Let some of the single ladies get a shot at him, huh? There was also a video that's been making its way around TikTok. This is from a woman. I want to ask you, because the baby that you were touching last week was probably much closer along the age range to this baby than any other baby that we would be familiar with. But there's a couple that's lying down on the ground, cooing over their baby and saying that, I love you, and all that goofy stuff that you say to babies.
Yeah.
Like they understand what you're saying. And the baby says, I love you.
I didn't catch that when I saw the video. It just sounded like baby talk.
Right. That's my point.
Oh, good. I'm glad we both have
absolutely.
Okay.
Here's from the video from this TikTok video. Again, mommy and daddy leaning over the baby. The baby's like, that stupid herky-jerky thing that those stupid babies
They don't
do.
know what to do with their limbs.
No, they don't. It's not that they don't know what to do. It's that they can't do anything with their limbs. So they're like,
All right, go easy on the baby.
okay, do you hear that?
That sounds like baby blabber. Not
Baby blabber.
everyone's saying I love you back.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
Well, this is one shot. There's another one that comes up a couple seconds later. So here's the first one. And the dad's like, oh my God!
I can kind of hear it in the second one, but it's more like the baby's just kind of getting the
Not
hint
even
of
that.
the
No,
syllables
not even that.
and parroting it back.
Rando. rando baby making rando noises out of his little rando baby mouth.
How dare you call that baby?
Listen, here's the problem. You may have witnessed this last week with your friend and her husband. These baby things, they will suck the intelligence out of your body. So you start to believe stuff like this. You get in there and they're like the lack of intelligence in their brain. You get close to them and they look like they're like one of those things from Harry Potter that will suck the life out of you, where it's like trying to suck the intelligence from your brain into its brain. And babies make people dumber.
So that's what happened.
No, I mean you can regrow it. Like you get.
Oh, you regrew it?
Back.
Okay.
It comes back. But it's when you see things like this where and
you're like, did you hear that?
Yeah, they're gone. Meanwhile, I'm far enough away from this moment of my child's life, right? And you only witnessed it for a little bit, hours at a time, so they didn't have enough to baby Hank didn't drill into your brain and suck out the good stuff. That's why we look at this and we're like, that's not what he said. It's just a baby making baby noise.
That's so true.
And the dad was like, oh my God, we made a genius baby. No, we made a baby. Herky-jerky baby.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk trending.
Because, by the way, the future of that baby...
I actually got hit by a car in college. Future's like that. We're all dumb, okay? Nobody's Doogie Howser around here. All right, coming up, what's trending, or as I like to call it, tinkle time. Tinkle time? Tingle time? What is it called?
If we gotta go, there is a commercial there.
You're doing it wrong.
Okay. Tingle time.
Got it.
Story. Do you think I'll lose these? I know. And you see why you feel about these. You're not going to have about the same thing as a birthday. Team member. That's right. 钱包里没有啊？你找着了吗？没找着啊。哎，有一是不是在楼下你这个计算机前面儿？有一天我这个是问过你。你说什么？你要啥号码？那信号我告诉你。我记得我那个卡没有收起。对呀，然后我现在在楼下。对呀，你枕头边儿我知道。对呀，你拿下来了。我记得我有几天也是用了一下，我那天要弄一个什么账单，但我一分钱就没有。没找着了？没有啊，找什么找不到？没行啊。Hey Mom, I'm doing this or no chips to help me lose weight.
What?
I'm doing this or no chips to help me lose weight.
Yes. I think you ate too many chips.
Sorry, Father. It's Robert. Jeff. Sorry. Robert. Okay, passing jeans. Sorry. Stephen and Robert. Okay. Okay. Sorry for see what we Yeah, people, you see,